All right, fifth graders, we have another lesson today. I have a problem to show you here at the beginning. Then we're going to correct the warm-up via video, and you're going to correct your own. And then there's a lot of surprises like usual. So I want you to take a look at this first problem. I actually took this off the iReady diagnostic, but I want to point out a strategy. I'm going to read you this problem. Michael puts 3 beads. Let me make that a little bit thicker here for you. Okay, 3 beads next to each other on a piece of string on a bracelet. Each bracelet, so that means it's going to be multiply, has a width of 5/6. Which expression and fraction both represent the total width of the beads, right? So at first, the reason I love this is I'm looking at all of these answers. Look at this first one, second one, third one, and fourth one. And when I look at them all, they all look very confusing. This is one of those problems I would say, I don't understand what to do. I'm frustrated and stressed out. But wait a second. What is the strategy Mr. Manderfeld said? When you don't know how to do a problem, find the math problem and do it. And this is a great example because you do know what the math problem is and you do know how to do it. You have 3 times 5/6. Reminding you, 3 beads, each are 5/6. So when you see this, think of the green packet. Then think, what kind of problem is this? That's right, put it over 1 and multiply straight across. Just do the math. Even though you're not quite sure of what you're trying to get as an answer, just do the math. So what do we get? We get 15/6, right? And if you look, you can actually stop there. Because now looking up at the problem, which one actually has the answer that you have? 15/6. Even though you might be confused on the other parts of this, there's only one that has 15/6. It's right there. So that is one of those examples that you might not understand what you're supposed to do. And when you look at the answers, they look very confusing. But if you do the math problem, the answer pops out. So that's a great strategy and works on a lot of different problems. All right, let's look at number 1 of our homework, or not our homework, but our warm-up today. And then after doing that, we'll be able to show you a surprise. So look at this is from the back wall. All these problems are from the back wall, and you're to be correcting your own paper. So put stars, and you're going to come tell me how many stickers you get today, okay? It says enter a positive value for B. That pretty much doesn't mean anything. Where W, 15 times W, where the product, this is the key, is greater than 0, but less than 15. And remember, we compare 15 to 15. And what are the words right before 15? That's right, less than 15. So as we know, in order to make a number less using multiplication, you have to multiply by, that's right, you just answered in your head, a fraction. So any fraction you would like, any normal fraction, 1/4, 5/6, 7/8. How about, you want to do a decimal? Technically, that's right. Any number less than 1, 0.5, 0.36, any of those will work. All right, let's take a look at number 2. Sorry that the numbers kind of got erased. There's number 1, here's number 2. Let's switch colors to, how about, I'll try a different color. We better just stick with what we're doing. Okay, let's go with black this time. Enter a positive value for M, 8 times M, where the product is greater, so again, we're comparing 8 to 8, greater than 8, but less than 16. So if you said, oh, I know, I think it's 8 times 1. Well, 8 times 1 equals 8, right? The product is 8. And it says greater than 8. And then you say, oh, I meant 8 times 2. Well, then you get 16. And it says it needs an answer smaller than 16. So wait a second, is there a number between 1 and 2? Of course, we've went over this many times. Any number bigger than 1 but smaller than 2, so let's do 1 and 1/3. If you want to be fancy, you could do 5/4. As long as these are just 1 away from each other, 8/7. You could do 1 and 3/5. Answers may vary. All right, let's take a look at a little surprise now. Let's go to my surprise box. What do I got down here? I've got a picture we can zoom in on. I want you to guess who are those 3 cowboys, or it looks like 2 cowboys and a cowgirl. Yep, you probably guessed right. That would be Avery, Monique, and who's that other one? That's right, Amelia. All right, you want another funny picture before we move on? How about this? Our mascot for each year of the walkathon. This year he was a cowboy. Eli Panko and his horse Giddy Up eating some hay. All right. Glad you liked it. All right, let's scoot back over to our problems. And let's check out number 3. Let's correct number 3. So let's get the green. I like how it shows up like fluorescent. All right, green says we have volume. As soon as I see volume, I go length times width times height equals volume. I've got my base, which is 5 times 8. Then I have a missing number, and it does actually tell me what my volume is. It is 240. So go ahead and do 8 times 5 was 40. So 40 times what is 240? Well, we just have our basic fact. 4 times what is 24? The answer would be 6. So the height is 6. All right, let's build the number, and then we got some more surprises, okay? On this one, number 4 is over here. Number 4, let's go with red so you can see better, and I'll actually get out my eraser quick. Make sure it's the big eraser. Let's erase this, get this out of here. Let's go back to our pen. Let's go red. Okay. Draw a quadrilateral. So let's think what that means. Quad means, yep, 4-sided shape with opposite sides parallel. Well, we have 3 of those. We have a square, we have a rectangle, and we have a rhombus, which I'm not the best drawing. Okay, there we go. Because all of these opposite sides will never touch. Those opposite sides being parallel is also called a parallelogram. All right. Let's go correct that one. You could have any of those 3. All right, I got a video for you this time. Watch this super athlete. Slow motion. Do you know who that is yet? Yeah, Judge is there. Whoa, that's right, Benji! Diving into your screen and mine. Good job, Benji. All right. Wait, what is this? Wait a second. We have a special guest in our classroom today. Miss Hubbard, what could be going on here? Action. Oh, what a good sport. Everybody's favorite. Yes. Okay. Let's go try to find that work again. Where did it go? All right. Oh, we got to zoom back out. All right. Let's build the number. This would be number 5 from your homework. Let's go with black this time. Make sure I got the pen, black. Okay, here we go. Remember what I told you. Great strategy here is when you got to build the number, let's just automatically put our place values in 1/10, 100ths, and 1,000ths, and then simply build the number. So we got 8 in the 1/10ths. We got 5 in the 1,000ths. We got 60,060. That can be kind of tricky to hard to write. 60,060. And then, of course, you got to put your 0 in there. So you got 60,060, 805. All right, let's see. I think I have another video hidden over here for you guys to see. Let's zoom in. Oh, yeah. We got something special. I want you to pay special attention to Esteban. And look at, I think that's Gavin getting some serious air. Slow-mo again. Check out Esteban in the corner. Esteban, whoa! Epic fail. Want to see it again? Look. Pause. Play it. Oh, no. Slow-mo. All right. We do have one more math problem to correct, and then I have a really cool video I want to show you to stop it up. Let's see if I can move this out of the way. Oh, I can. All right. Let me get my eraser. Big eraser again. Get rid of all this. We have room. Okay, last problem. We have Eric practices soccer for 3 1/4 hours per week, right? And plays video games for 5 4/6 hours per week. Write and solve an equation where H, okay, so we got to make, okay, equals H. That's the equation part. We all know that. But what are we going to do? Add, subtract, multiply, or mud. How much more? Look at the back wall if you don't know. We added that up there. That's right, it's subtracting. So you're going to have to subtract. So we get 3 1/4. This one was tricky because it has borrowing. Oh, no, sorry. I almost messed up here. Look at, I almost did this backwards. This is not the equation. In an equation, no matter what order the numbers, you always have to have the bigger number first. So what's bigger, 5 or 3? You can't take 3 away from 5, and there's nothing to borrow. So that was my bad. Total mistake. 5 4/6. Take away 3 1/4 equals H. That is what we're going to stack. Okay? So let's go ahead and stack that. Last one, 5 4/6 minus 3 1/4. Okay, fraction bars, they meet at 12 times 3 times 3 times 2. We're making equivalent fractions here, and as Mr. Manderfeld always freaks out about, let's write it sideways. We get 5 8/12 minus 3 3/12 equals 2 5/12. Final answer, sticking with it. So H, right, the missing number from before, that's what makes an equation, equals 2 5/12. All right, now I got a video to show you. Something pretty cool I don't know if all of you have seen before. It's right here. You rewind it from America's Got Talent. Enjoy the video, and then you guys can be off to Legends of Learning.
This should be interesting.
Now that was pretty cool. All right, Legends of Learning.